So basically, I want to bring it back a little bit. I usually try to kind of delve in a little bit more to get to know like the person behind the personality. That's my slogan. And I think like it seems like you might have like a bit of a story because going back. In fact, where did you grow up?
Leicester, like
You're Leicester through and through, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Born there, lived there, stayed there. That's it.
Okay, because we were speaking off camera and you asked where I grew up, right?
Yeah.
And I said Harrow. So people who don't know, Northwest London-ish, Harrow, basically, is on the outskirts of Northwest London. And you said, yeah, I know it. And I was like, how do you know it? And he was like, the skate park, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, hang on, you're a BMXer, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your BMXing kind of journey. I know it's kind of off subject, but tell me about that.
I think a lot of people are like interested in that as well. You know, that's really where I started doing YouTube and learning how to edit with BMX things. It was always like, you film your BMX tricks, and that's sort of how you got sponsorships. You put your video out, you do your best tricks, and then sponsors come like, this guy's good, or you have to enter in a competition. If you're entering a competition, you send the video across, like, yeah, you're good enough, you can come in. So that's how it started, like editing and videos came along. But I was BMXing from, like, I always played football, and then BMX took over, and yeah.
What was your BMX? Because like when I was young, I had a mongoose, bro.
Oh,
is that mongoose in your bag, bro?
Yeah,
don't make me feel nice about myself.
Ain't that bad.
Mine didn't have the gyro though. Do you remember the gyro? So it was like the dirt bike one, bro.
Yeah, I still got a gyro on my bike. Like it's I started off on like a Diamondback. So Diamondback was like
Diamondback. You used to be able to buy them. Did you have Cycle King up in Leicester?
No.
Cycle King used to be like the budget Halfords thing around our area.
I think that's it. You know, a lot of people who like mess around with the bikes, they mess around with the cars afterwards.
Yeah.
I used to be the same thing. I remember I got my Diamondback BMX, and there was this thing called like rally cycles, city cycles. And I just wanted the seat hiring a bit on it. I remember just taking it there. They charged me £8 to like hire the seat. I'm like, that didn't look that hard. And then,
I just undone the clip.
Yeah, I know. And that's it. And then that's when I start fiddling with that, and you learn how things work, and then one thing goes to another. But yeah, BMX was always. I started going down the racetrack when I was young, riding there, and I was rubbish at racing. I was the slowest one, but I loved just doing the tricks, trying to get high. And then that next thing, it was going to a skate park. I was like, oh, one thing led to another, riding the skate parks. I got better and better and better. Yeah. And then I picked up a sponsorship then.
So how good were you then? You must have been good.
I was okay.
You blow your own trumpet here, bro. Do it. Were you good?
Yeah,
I thought I was alright. I could do a bunny hop.
Yeah, no, I got
mean?
like sponsorship, and I was doing it for a living for when I was like, between the age of like 16 to like 20-ish.
No way.
That was it. I was working between those years. So I was at school. Well, I was at sixth form then, and I was just missing sixth form to go to competitions. You know, like I was going like France to go to like some competitions.
Oh, you was that good?
Yeah, I coached in Dubai for like weeks, and like I was literally all over the place. All my mates were like staying like sixth form, never go on holiday. I was all over the place, but made like next to nothing, but enough to get me to all these places. And I was doing like shows and this, that, and the other.
Were you winning a lot, or no, or yes? Was the competition hard?
Yeah, I was always placing. So it started off the sponsor that started off as called like Mag Gear MGP. It was a scooter brand, but they started sponsoring BMXers. I got sponsored by them, and they were really good. So they said like they wanted to sponsor upcoming riders. So it became something like you qualify into a pro competition. And at the start, I was qualifying, but not getting through to the finals. And then I started getting through to the finals. Then it was like I was placing top 10 every competition. Then it would come to top 5. And then it just went bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'd say probably the best I was when I was like 20, 21, 22. And I was upset if I weren't top 5 sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, so when you're competing now, are you competing against the world's best?
Yeah. So like we went to, Germany, the BMX Worlds competition. I remember that competition. That was like before I got like a big injury, and I was like throwing myself on the line against like big riders, and it was like literally like world's best was there. And to qualify, you have to come in the top 16 to qualify to the finals. Then in the finals, it's the top 16 of the world. I qualify in the qualifying run. You get 2 runs and then last trick. So you do 2 runs, which is 60 seconds on the whole part. They went really well, and then I don't know why. For the last trick, they were like, right, okay, you got your last trick. I didn't really need to do anything crazy because I've done 2 solid runs. but I've been learning this like 720 tail whip, like which is like basically.
Fucking hell, that just sounds mad,
yeah,
bro.
it's like 720, and you kick the bike all the way around as well.
What?
And I've been learning it. I've done it a few times, like on like a practice ramp, and I was like, I'm just gonna send it. Like I'm just gonna do it. Like the crowd's behind you, everyone's buzzing. Went through it, ended up like coming off, dislocated my shoulder. I qualified 16th place, but had a dislocated shoulder, so I couldn't ride the finals. So I was absolutely bumming. And then
God.
since I had that shoulder, I never really got back to like fully protect. I think it was more of a mind thing, knowing that my shoulder was always there. It used to pop out randomly in my sleep and everything.
Oh wow.
And then yeah, one thing leads to another. Then it becomes in your mind, and then that's when I like obviously bought a house, and I'm thinking I've got a mortgage to pay. I don't want to die, like.
That's bro. Because you know what's nuts, right? When I used to go. Like again, going back to Harrow skate park. Shout out to Harrow. Is that still a thing? Is it still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. Yeah,
oh, fucking
that's
hell.
like one of the. I think it's like one of the oldest skate parks in the UK. Or something,
Really?
you know,
Yeah,
like,
because I was going to ask. Is there not a lot? Why did you come all the way from Leicester to there?
trust me, I used to go every skate park like there was. Like if there was like they call it like a jam day. And, like I remember going to a jam day at Harrow. There's a lot of BMXs down here. Like there's a good scene around here. So you used to go down and ride with them and have a laugh. They used to come up. Everyone used to travel everywhere. Like you know, I met so many people through BMXing that I never would have otherwise. And there is a really good scene like London area for BMXing.
Because as I say, like my BMX career was very short, and it was very amateur. But I still knew the skate park was there. We used to ride to the skate park. It probably took us about half an hour because we're on the other side of Harrow.
Yeah.
And so I got there, and we used to just go up and down the things very, very cautiously. We'd come off the bowl or what. Actually, I couldn't even go in the bowl. It was too scary. I wasn't going in the bowl. I think in Harrow Skate Park, they've got like an eagle thing. So I think it's called the eagle. It used to have an eagle.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, for a kid, it was quite daunting, but I could come up it, I could do a little bunny hop thing off it. And I remember once I come up and I'd done a 180. I was learning a 180, bro. Who cares about 720 tail whip flips, bro? Man was doing a 180, yeah? And I'd done the 180, and I come out, and I thought I aced it. I was getting really good at it. And I come out, and my rear tyre popped. I was like, shit. Half an hour ride home, like, you know, with a flat tyre, so I had to wheel it home. But I remember once, my mate was trying to do the same thing, right? And come out of it. I don't know what happened, but somehow, man landed on his head. Yeah?
Oh my!
Do you know when you hear the connections, concrete in his head? Yeah, it was like one of them. It was like that, yeah.
God.
Everyone in the skate park was like, "Ooh!" You weren't trying to do a mad trick. We just trying to do a little 180.
It always happens on stupid things like that.
And we was young. We was probably about 12 or 11. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's on the floor and he's covering his head. Yeah. And I've run up to he's my best friend. Shout out to Glenn, right? And I went over to him. I was like, "Bro, let me see." And he went like this. Yeah, and you know when your friend will gauge your reaction to see how bad he's fucked up. Yeah, bro, he looked like a rhino. I've never seen it. Man had a fucking cocoa on his head coming out like that. You know what I mean? As soon as he done it, bro, everyone's seen him and he's like, you know, like the Elephant Man. Have you ever seen the Elephant Man? He's running away. I'm not an animal.
No, it's the same thing. I remember those reactions all the time. I remember one session that we had at skateboard, my mate's like, I can't hurt myself, I'm going skiing with the family tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So we go, he said it, I remember him doing a trick, he falls on the floor, and we all go, are you all right? And then, you know, I just remember looking down at his ankle, and it was the wrong way round. Next thing I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And then he's like, what? And I'm like, look at your ankle, it's like the wrong way.
We're meant to be the calming friends.
Oh my
like,
God.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm running away. Honestly, there's so many things. Like I busted my shoulder, my front teeth. They're all fake because I smashed them out. Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. You BMXers are fucking crazy. Going back to it, the bowls, the fucking the things there, bro. Concrete, crazy shit, and you're doing mad flips off it, bro.
Your mentality changes as you get older. You know, like you don't. When I was like 16, 17, I don't know why. I used to think, right, I'm gonna land this trick. I'm gonna do it. You don't know why. I just wanted to do it. I was like, yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
But you don't think about what happens if you fall off. You don't. Yeah. And now that's what I'm more thinking about. I still
Did you have the helmet and everything?
Yeah, I always had my helmet.
The knee pads and the elbow pads.
I never had like elbow pads.
Because there's got to be some uncool accessories.
Yeah, I just had a helmet and then I had like knee and shin pads under my jeans.
Okay.
And that was like pretty much it. And
did you have brakes? Because I know there was
one brake.
One brake,
rear brake. But there's a lot of people that
had no brakes.
No brakes. Yeah.
I was thinking, that was wild to me. When I used to go to the skate park, my mongoose didn't have the twisty thing, the gyro. Didn't have the gyro. Had two brakes. I wasn't even going down the big ones. And then these crazy guys, bro, they weren't even wearing the helmets, the nothing. They want no brakes on their shit. I'm like, what are they doing, bro?
The people without helmets is like I think that does my head in like now, because you say like your mate fell off just doing a 180. It can be anything. You can whack your head and that's it. It puts you out.
I think he's still got that lump on his head. Bro.
Yeah,
that was about fucking 20 years ago.
I always think I put a helmet on regardless, but yeah, BMXing was like a mad thing, and it used to be partying as well, like a lot of partying.
Oh, is it?
I remember it was actually coming to Harrow here. We rode Birmingham in Redditch. There was a skate park there, really good one. And then like the lads we were with were like, right, next day, it must have been summer holidays or something. It's like, right, one of us could drive, one of them could drive. And we was like driving down to Harrow. Someone was having a party here and was going to stay there. Next day we'd ride the skate park. I remember we're sitting, like it must have been Vauxhall Corsa, and there's two of us in the back of it, one of us in the front. We've got like a bottle of vodka, like massive, and we're swigging it on the way down, because when we get to the party, we're primed and ready. So it's like us three in the car, the guy's driving away, and we're like absolutely smashed. We're like, you need to pull over, we're dying for a wee. He had to pull over on the hard shoulder, we're having a wee. On the side what the hell are we doing? Like stuff like that, like funny memories that, and then get in there.
So did you guys used to go like hanging like to the fucking skate park like the day after? Like,
yeah, like the next day. Most of the competitions I rode, I was absolutely smashed the night before. Like, like the ones in France were the best ones. You used to get a lot of the time the competition used to pay for you to go. You get the hotel and everything. Then your sponsorships give you like your sort of spending money out there anyway. So it's a free trip. So what do you do when you're like 17, 18?
Exactly.
You get there on a Friday, you practice. In the evenings, you go out and you get absolutely hammered. The next day, there'll be a sauna or something in the hotel. You sit in the sauna, you sweat it all out, and then you're straight on the course riding. And that's it. And that used to be like the lifestyle. It was so fun. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I remember sitting on planes on my own thinking, oh my God, this is boring. But it changed.
That's a crazy
everything.
lifestyle,
I even met my girlfriend for it. That's like really how that came about. It was BMXing. I started doing shows. Like we had a portable ramp. We're doing shows, this, that, and the other, bookings everywhere. I did a show in Lincoln, and it was a 2-day show, and was camping there. Like it was like like an RAF field sort of thing, and it was like a big event. So we did one night, did the show, and then was like, what should we do? Let's go out and go out in Lincoln Town for the night, and then we'll ride the next day. Went out in Lincoln Town, ended up meeting my missus there who I'm with now. Just in a nightclub there, spoken to her, got a number. Didn't really think anything of it.
Did you drop the BMX line when you was there?
I was like, I'm doing shows. You
got to use your powers.
Next thing, like, stayed in contact, this, that, and the other. The week after, I was doing 3 weeks in Dubai, coaching like kids over there, and I was on my own in Dubai, like in a hotel for 3 weeks. Coaching kids, and it gets kind of boring and you're on your own, like sort of thing.
You want to share the experiences.
That's it. And then it got to the second week, and on the last week, like I was always still talking with Hannah the whole time, like just texting saying, oh, I'm here and doing this, and then like we like FaceTime at night or whatever. I said, why didn't you come for the last week? I've got a hotel. Why don't you just come over? Like, bear in mind, we only met each other once.
Oh, no.
She had like a full-time job and everything, and she goes, oh, I'd love to do that. Like, next day, she asked her work if she can have a week off work the following week, and they said no. And she FaceTimed and she goes, oh, my work said no, but I've quit my job. I was like, you what? She goes, I'm desperate to come. I've always wanted to go to Dubai. I feel like it's an opportunity. You know, she was like me. It's an opportunity sort of thing.
That's what I was going to say, bro. She's like-minded.
Yeah. She thought it's an opportunity. I don't want to miss it. I've quit my job. And then she was like, right. I was like, okay, right.
Pressure's on, isn't it?
Like, I didn't actually think she was going to do it. I kind of said it as like a half joke. You know, like, why didn't you come out like to Dubai? Like, next thing, she's trying to explain to her mum and her dad while she's flying halfway across the flipping world to Dubai to a guy that she's never met before.
That's wild.
She had to like lie to her dad. Hopefully he's not watching this. But had to lie to her dad. I've known him for ages, since school. She didn't have any money for the flights or anything like that, so she asked her dad for the money for the flights, and he gave it to her. She told her mum like the true story, and I was on FaceTime with her mum saying like, look, I'm not a drug dealer.
This ain't a dodgy deal. Like.
She came out, spent a week together, came back. Since then, she moved to Leicester, got a job in Leicester, and then it just went from there.
Bro, that's it. Well, at least you know she's dedicated. You know what I mean? That's dedication right there.
Again, that, like I said, it's a weird thing how everything works out, but it's strange.
So going back to BMXing, like with the tricks and that, what's like the maddest trick?
Like, you know what? It's changed since since like there's two different types of riding. I thought it was always like competition riding, and then you've got like your YouTube riding. The YouTube riders, like those guys would do mad stuff. I don't know if you ever watched any of like Harry Main's stuff, or Ryan Taylor. Or
yeah, I've seen Ryan Taylor bust some crazy. He does
Yeah.
some like a flip. It's kind of backwards and then it kind of spins in the air. I
Yeah,
don't even know
so
what he does.
like these guys, like this was like the scene like back in the day. Like all these guys were like top of the game, like Ryan, Harry, this, that, and the other.
Were you competing against those boys?
Yeah, like.
Okay.
But BMX is like a really good scene. Everyone's like kind of friends with each other. There's no like hard feelings like we're competing against each other. Everyone used to be like, if you're doing a mad trick, you're just like, that was sick.
That's sick.
Like,
Yeah.
It was like that, and yeah, I think then Harry went off to do like more YouTube video type of thing. So he'd do like the maddest tricks, like world first tricks, but you could have been spending like ages trying to do that.
You weren't pulling
trick.
it off on the first time.
Yeah, that's it. Where you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And a competition is like maybe not the craziest tricks, but you've got them dialed. So you can do like a solid run where you're doing loads and loads of tricks in a minute.
Yeah.
And like they're not the best tricks, but it's a solid run and it'll place you high. And then you've got like a YouTube sort of rider, which has got like mental tricks. People will watch the videos, but in a competition, they're maybe not so good because they've not got everything all locked down. And I feel like that was the kind of separation between it. And it's become like more so now. But now it's literally, there's kids like 16, 17 years old, which are doing stuff I don't even know how they're doing it. Like the game's leveled up,
It's
like,
just leveled.
and it will keep getting, like the ramps will get bigger, people go higher, there's bigger tricks will happen.
Is it a young man's game? Like, is BMX? Could you be this age now and still be at the top of your game?
100%. Like
Okay.
there's older people riding still, and like they're doing well. It's just how you keep yourself and your passion for it, and your mentality as well. Like if you're doing it for the right reasons. Like now, I'll go out. I'll still ride now. I'll take my bike. I went up to that awesome GTR the other week. I know there's a skate park around there. Throw the bike in the back, go for a little ride.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but
you must be like a little celeb when you fucking like, oh shit, am I seeing it? He's actually
it's
riding.
funny. Like I'll go there, and if I'm with the camera or something, there'll be like kids there, and they'll be like, "Oh, you YouTuber?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, then they just search on YouTube, and expect to see BMX stuff. It's all cars.
It's all cars, isn't it? Yeah.
But like, I'll ride there, but I ride for fun now. I don't like push myself to do mental stuff. I'll just ride for like a laugh. But it's it's changed. So it's changed a lot. Like BMXing now, it's the younger kids are just taking over. It's
kind of always happens, isn't it? The levels, the boundaries always get pushed.
That's
the
it.
more the sports around.
It's been announced it's going. It was meant to go in the Olympics last year. That was like the newest thing in the
freestyle
Olympics.
BMX.
Yeah, freestyle BMX was new in the Olympics last year, and like they're building up like a Great Britain team, and then that's when it started to become more serious as well. BMX has always been, like that sort of underground sport where people are just like laid back, and then all the competitions running up to that, it's sort of like you have to gain to get into the Great British team. You ride in all these competitions and you gain points, sort of thing, and then like if you at your top of your points, sort of thing, then you can get in the team. So then things started changing. Like there was just random thing. Not that I ever did drugs or anything like that, but there was like drug tests, and then
and that's when you bowed out. That's when you're like, no.
That's a problem.
Never done drugs, but
that's a problem for a lot of BMXers. Like there's things like that, and then like the runs got it was judged differently. Like it was judged more stricter, and it was like 60 seconds, bang on, that's it. Like there's nothing else, and everything became a lot more strict, and I don't feel like that's kind of like what BMX was.
It's meant to be that raw, street kind of.
It's freestyle BMX. You do what you want. Like that's why that's why I stopped playing football to do it, because I didn't like being coached at football. I didn't like, this is the way you do stuff. That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
Freestyle BMX, you do what you want. You're free, do what you like. Use your imagination. But then it started to become, if you do these tricks, you're gonna get marked more. If you do this, you're gonna get marked more. And then it becomes something like you're being coached to do, and then you start losing interest, and that's where I don't like that. I think it's been the story of my life. I don't like working a 9-to-5 job. They tell you what to do. But
you're a free spirit. You need to be doing what you want to do.
What you want to do, and then that's it. It became like that, and
that's
just fizzles out for me. But I mean, I still love it. I still ride BMX, but for different reasons now.